Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the Scottish wilderness here, and we're near Auchmithie where we explored in the last video, but we've come a bit further up the coast nearer Arbroath, and there's two tunnels through the hill here. They're like caves but they're tunnels. The light in the dark tunnel, and you can actually go from one beach straight through the hill and you come out into another world, into another beach. And it's insane. I'm sure there's an old like tractor back end and stuff lying on the beach for years ago and stuff, so yeah, we're away again on a crazy adventure folks, and it's insane. This landscape we're in, it's wild. And we did check with the tide times, it's like 2 hours until the tide's fully out, so we've got loads of time to explore this, because this is the sort of place when the tide comes in you can't access these caves. Or you could get trapped on the other beach at the far end. It's like a pebble beach. Yeah, crazy folks. It's an insane adventure. I've only been here once before and gone through this tunnel, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. Like, it's a rare kind of place in the landscape of Angus. Look at this folks, we're inside this massive area of sandstone. And we're pretty much down out of the wind and the sun's shining, it's epic. And we're actually going in this dark cave which is up ahead, and it's in the side of this rock. The landscape here is just insane. We're right here between Auchmithie and Arbroath on the coast. And yeah, look, there's a sandy section here. What a cool adventure it is coming to a place like this folks. Like, we're going into the heart of this mountain, and at the other side it's like a beach which is only accessible via this double cave here. There's a light in a dark cave, and there's a stone feature within this dark cave which they call the Devil's Seat, or the Devil's Chair I think it is. It's been a long time since I've been here. I've only been here once in my life, and it was literally like unplanned. It's the craziest like spontaneous adventure coming to find this, and yeah, walking through the heart of a mountain right here in Angus. I think this is one of the coolest wild landscapes in Angus that you can explore. And you can see why once we get into the heart of this cave. It's like a natural cathedral in the rock. We're about to walk inside it, like, and it's insane. Just think the tide normally comes up here and wears these rocks. And this sandstone's almost like what you see in like Arizona or something. Check out the way that's eroded there. Wow. Look at that folks. Crazy sandstone, sedimentary bedrock. And there's just little caves and stuff all over it, eh? Yeah, there's a little cave up here. Wonder what wild animals is living within a complex like this. Wow, look at this above our heads. It's scary. Wow, that cave leads way up in as well. Oh, look at this folks. There's little ports looking out of there. Little side tunnels. Yeah, and look, there's another little side tunnel here. Must be worn from the wind and off in the water. Like insane.
Castaway with Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Crazy cave. What a scene this is folks. This is the first cave. And look, I've just noticed this ancient carving here on the rocks. People's probably been coming here for years. That's almost like a satanic symbol there at this cave. Oh, but they do call it the Devil's Chair there, eh? In the other cave. I was saying that earlier in the video. Yeah, maybe this cave's got some dark history. But look at the way it's been eroded. You can see the way the sandstone actually forms. Insane, folks. Wow, this is slippy, so be careful. Real adventures, folks. Yeah, the overhang of this rock is insane, and the sound of the waves crashing. It's a crazy environment. There is a fisherman just made his way past here though. Shout out to you if you're watching this. Yeah, this is the craziest dark cave, folks, and look at it, the natural cathedral in the rock. Wow, folks, let's head on into this monstrous cavern in the rock. Just think of the years that's passed. Look, there's somebody's carved in here. Wow, look how old that looks. This is insane, folks. Look, Mary Alexander, Mary Cuthar. Oh look, 19, whatever, it looks like 67 maybe down there. Oh, that looks like somebody's been carving in 19 something. This is insane, this. People's been coming here for years. The writing looks a lot tidier back in those days when they graffitied. Look, there's writing down here as well. Yeah, every wall in here, folks, it's like crazy history. Crazy writing. Yeah, Woody 93, shout out if you're watching this. Yeah, there's a lot of shells and pebbles underfoot because this fills with, well, when the tide comes in, it rips in here. And just think of the environment when the tide's ripping in here. This stone up here is like the devil's chair, I'm sure. Check it out, folks. This cave is actually a tunnel. Through the dark bit at the back of this, it's a tunnel, folks. Yeah, check it out. Whoa, there's a pigeon right above our heads and I jumped out of my skin. It's insane. This rock here, I'm sure is the chair. Yeah, it's crazy. Channel DJ's got his torch with him today, folks. We'll need that for this next section because it's absolutely insane darkness. Go and shine your torch up through there. So this section here, folks, is crazy because we're about to head through this cave section and we're going to head on up now to the next part of it takes you onto a whole other area on the coast. And it's crazy to think right now we're inside the hill. That massive entrance is back down there, and yeah, there's other little caves going off to the side, which is insane. Yeah, I've just got my little phone torch on there, folks. Wow, I'm totally tripping over that stone. It's totally insane. It is crazy to think also of the people who may have come through or even sheltered in this cave at times. And maybe there was a community that was like staying in here. Like you can see the first signs of the other entrance down there. And it is a proper long cave because that massive cavern's way down there. Just check it out, folks. It's like, it does look naturally just hollowed out. It's like it's been a fissure. Maybe all this other stuff here has just fallen in. And there is a breeze that comes through here. Wow, this adventure's crazy, folks. An environment like this, who would have even thought? It's the cave show. Underground, under the sandstone. And it's crazy when you come out the other side. It's like going to a different world. The undiscovered world, accessed by this crazy cave. Look at the way these stones are just hanging down from here. Yeah. See, certain times if the rocks look a certain way, it can be because they were molten from lava flowing through. But I don't know if this is what we're seeing here or not. It is interesting the way I'm seeing it. The way these rocks above our heads, folks, they're hanging down in these little tips. It's like they've been melted. And then what's left is this. So I'm not sure if this is some sort of hole maybe carved through the sandstone by lava at one time. Or it could just be a geological fault through the sandstone. Wow, the sun, there's like a big point. It is like it's been melted and then it's gone hard. Look at the shape of it. And there's a big ore through the middle of that there. It's like it's maybe been a volcanic tube, if there's ever such a thing, like burnt through. Because it is massive. And you can imagine all this sedimentary stuff at the entrance would have been built up probably by the tide and stuff like that. So looking back into the cave there, folks, it's just the darkness, and there's no actually a breeze once you come this far. No. It's almost like the wind is escaping somewhere else along that area. Not unless it's because it's wider here and the air's just dispersed further. But often the air is crazy inside a place like this, folks, because it's like underground. And just think, this hill's above our head. These big chunks have all just fallen off. Yeah, somebody's laid those stones there, eh? Crazy, folks. And then this is it, coming out into the next world. Wow, look at this, folks. What a crazy scene. Look at the sandstone cliffs here, inaccessible any other way other than these cliffs. And then when the tide's in, you can't get through. The other end of these tunnels is blocked. There's an old vintage tractor back end over here, which is likely to have come over the top. Probably broke in half when it hit the bottom. Look at this, folks. This is the craziest piece of nature we've seen since we came out of that tunnel. And look at this stone. It looks like it's defeating gravity, because it is actually a piece of worn bedrock. But it's just crazy the way it looks sticking out of the ground. That sort of thing, folks, it's just absolutely insane. It's a bit of natural kind of rock which has been worn like that, and it just looks like a stone balancing on its corner. It's absolutely insane. Look at this, folks. On the end of this sandstone rock, look, there's somebody's initials been carved in there. Just shows for years and years people's been coming. Look, 1970, is it 1978 or something like that? Maybe 1979. Crazy, folks. Shout out if you see your own graffiti on this video, folks. And all that's names and stuff scored in all those years ago. That's part of the history here of the land now. Way back in 1970. And slowly the rocks are eroding away now. And it's crazy, folks. Anyway, there's another cool as tunnel around here, so I think we should take a look through that, and then we'll explore this kind of coast bit a little bit. Check this out, folks. Somebody's been around here balancing stones. Look at that. It's one of those stone balancing art pieces. Shout out if you built that and you see it on this video. It's a cool piece of art. Yeah, let's head on up to the second tunnel, which is insane. They're known as the light and the dark tunnel, and that first one we came through was the dark tunnel. And look at this, folks, there's a similar entrance into the tunnel. It almost looks like the same tunnel from this end. Wow, here we go, folks. Once again, we're going into an underground world right here. What are we going to see? Wow. Look, you can see the light already at the other end. This tunnel's not so long, and initially it is a wee bit lower. Yeah, I'll let Channel DJ go ahead with his torch, or it casts the shadow. It is insane to see it though. Think of the years. I don't know if that's bat droppings or something on the walls of here, or I don't know what it is, but it is crazy. Maybe there'll be some ancient graffiti in this scene too. I think the coolest graffiti seems to be in the other tunnel. Yeah. Maybe if we go back out that way, we'll find some history that we missed on the way in. It is interesting to think these might have been carved out by some sort of lava or something flowing at one time, or a volcanic rock coming through. But then I could be totally wrong with that. It's most likely just a fissure in the sandstone, the more I think about it. It is crazy. Look at this bit over here. It's like you can see the two different stones, This is smooth with like no pebbles, and then look at that, the deep red colour.
It's like it's just pure.
Yeah, it's like different sedimentary layers right there. Which is crazy, because it's almost just like a straight line through the rock. Oh look, here's an ancient bit of graffiti. Well, it's not that ancient, but 1989 it looks like it says there. IT 1989. And then look at this, this is the same beach we came in. We came, obviously the dark cave's just along there. Wow, what an area to explore, folks. It's cool to bring a wide variation of videos. Ken, who would have known that we were going to be underground in this episode? I'd totally forgotten about this location, and then when we were in this area and we realised the tide times, there's no better place to come, folks. It's the first time I've even documented it, probably like in 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it's fairly worn out for the sea there. There's a black line right around the coast where the tide, that's the tide line where the water goes. Cave entrances like this would just be mad. If you were camping in the cave, you would just hope the sea didn't rise to a certain height, but it would be scary. In case some of those rocks fell down, you could never trust it. See underfoot as well, there's stuff being scored in there, maybe for a time gone by. Insane, folks. Anyway, we're wanting to explore this little beach area, but look at this on the roof, there's like a red stone in the middle of all that other grey stone. It's maybe just the way the mineral's been rolling down it actually, now I see it. Wow. What a crazy, crazy world. It's like going to a land in Star Wars with the red stone and the little cave entrances. Insane. Walking about in a Star Wars scene this week, folks. Unreal. Wow. The amount of sandstone on the east coast here, there is a lot of places that's got like caves and tunnels and stuff, but being able to access them is always the most difficult part. Because it is wild. If you keep walking right around there, you would get to Auchmithi. But like 9 times out of 10, you just can't get up there for the coast, like the sea coming up. You can't get round the coast. What a scene, eh? We've just literally come out of the heart of that hill, folks, and it's insane. Look at this, folks, we've come round the corner from those 2 tunnels. I nearly did fall. Right, I'll retake that. Take 2. So look at this, folks, we've come around the corner now from those 2 tunnels through the hill. And we're on the edge of the hill where the sea is, and the landscape here is wild. And we're going to look and see if there's a little cave around this side of the hill. It's all this crazy sandstone environment we're in. Wow. Like, I don't even know if there's a way around. Who even knows if there's a way around, like... Maybe this is the way around. Crazy adventures, folks. We're just pathfinding a coastal route right here. Yeah, so this spot here, folks, is what I could see from round the corner. I thought there might be another like cave or something in this rock face, but it's just this crazy sandstone, that red colour. And it is just like a scene out of Star Wars or something when you walk about in a place like this. To go through those tunnels to get here, it's such an adventure. And it's wild the way this has all just been worn from the sea over the years. Look at this, folks, we're now back round on this crazy beach which can only be accessed when the tide's out from those tunnels. And we're away to look at this old vintage tractor which is washed up. Well, it's no washed up, it's on the shore, and the crazy story is it came over the edge of here, and this is what's left of it. It's It's like a nugget of history on this coastline here, which is incredible to see. And apparently it's an old international tractor, folks, for all the agricultural fans out there. See, it's got the solid cast rear wheels. Look at that, with the nuts in the middle. And look, the diff and stuff's still in there. See, the diff with the pinion is driven to the gearbox, but then look, it's geared up for the drive out. So it would have been a slow tractor, but it would have had a lot of power. Just check it out, folks, what a scene. And just imagine, the boy must have lost it over the edge of that cliff. I just hope he wasn't sitting on it when it came over the edge. It's obviously sheared in half with like the impact when it hit the bottom. Look, here's some bits of like the old hitch and stuff still lying here. Look at the shape of those old castings right there. Crazy, folks, real history right here. And yeah, what a spot to find it in. I can actually see those wheels look like they're made in two halves. So I'm not sure if you split the wheel in half when you were changing the tyre. Must have been some of the early pneumatic tyres that was on there. Yeah, what a scene, folks. Just look at that with the big double nut in the middle. That must have been the bolts which held the wheel together originally. Crazy, folks. Abandoned history right here on the beach. Look, there's the selectors for the gearbox. That's where the gear handle would have gone in and controlled the gears. And look, there's still some of the gears in there, all corroded. Yeah, just about gone forever, folks. It's like the top cover sheared off it as well. So look, the bolts is bent. Maybe also when it was sitting here, people came and took parts for their tractor over the years, I'm not sure. It's obviously been here for a long time. And maybe 60, 70 years sat here. When the tide comes in probably too, it washes through it. Anyway, I'll get a couple of pictures of this before we move on this adventure. So there we go, folks, what an abandoned scene of history that is. And look, you can see the force when the front end's been sheared off it. Look, the thickness of the cast to shear it. You can see it's cracked further round. And all this, there's still bits of the top cast and tail which has been ripped off. It's been a crazy scene when that thing's come over. Wow. It's been epic, folks. Anyway, we'll go over to this end of the crazy beach here. I'm calling it a beach, but it's a pebble beach. And it's some of the worst stuff to walk on. Large pebbles like that. It's crazy because each little coastal cove has got its own character and the landscape's just different. It's different sizes of pebbles even sometimes that washes up places like this. And yeah, insane. These sandstone cliffs are just crazy. Some of them are home to like families of seagulls up there. But I think, yeah, the weather can get pretty wild out here at times. We've gotten lucky with the weather for today's adventure. Yeah, epic, folks. So look at that, folks. Once again, we're walking about in paradise right here. Scottish paradise. The landscape here is so wild and rugged, but it's so cool to explore. When the tide's low, it just unlocks so much new wild landscape. Yeah, crazy cave-like environments carved by the sea and the wind over the years through this crazy sedimentary bedrock. Yeah, normally this land here is deep under the water, and you can see that from the black line on the rock. And right now my head would be under the water if the tide was in. Look at this, folks, we've pushed on further along the coast here, and look, there is a kind of little cave here. It's nothing too incredible like the first tunnel that we came through, but yeah, it's worth coming in here and look at it. It's just another worn like hole eroded into the rock face. Yeah, the Scottish landscape, folks, it's just stunning. Times of year like this, again, it's not too overgrown often to explore. And yeah, adventures like this are possible. Obviously, you have to go with the tide on an adventure like this too, so. Yeah, it's insane. There's little nuggets of countryside like this that's hard to even see. But yeah, here we are, folks, on this video. Right, folks, we're now back along as far as this incredible cave which we first entered this beach on. Well, through I should say. And look at this on the rock. I don't know if we can see it because of the sunlight, but you can see the fissure in the rock above the cave entrance. There's that lighter piece of rock, and that'll be the reason the cave's worn out over the years with the cold sea wind blowing through. Wow, just check that out, folks. We're going into honestly the heart of this mountain again, and it is exciting. It's a crazy adventure. On this channel we never really go in many caves and stuff, but it just shows you, folks, you never know what is next. And today it's a cave. Like, look, there's a small bit up there. That's a massive fissure of like that quartzy kind of stuff. It might have even been like dug out up there at one time by somebody. Right, folks, let's get on with this adventure. Look at this quartz above my head, which is through the sandstone. It's insane. It's like a fissure or a seam. And then check it out. Wow. What a crazy landscape this is, folks. It's almost eerie and quiet after the roar of the sea in the background. It's like we've come inside like a natural cathedral in the rock. It's totally epic. Wow. It's crazy that we can record places like this, folks, and show the world. This has been documented on other videos and stuff, but it's cool for BKR to come here and record it. And yeah, just think of the history of the folk that's walked through here over the years, and like the people that's carved into those rocks all the years ago. And then I don't know, with that devil's chair and also the graffiti that we saw scored in on the smaller cave, I don't know if there was some satanic rituals or something that went on here back in the day. Wow, this is a crazy wide piece in the tunnel here, folks. Again, it feels like we've been walking in for ages, but literally, again, the entrance is just back there. What a scene, folks. You can see Channel DJ up ahead with his torch. Look at this, it's like that same seam. It's crazy. Yeah, the pigeons. See, pigeons could actually knock stones and stuff down on our heads. Again, still got a fright. Look, there's a hole down here, folks. What's down this side? Wow. People's obviously been partying down here as well at times. I can see old beer bottles and stuff away in there. That's a deep hole. It's so cool to explore this, folks. It's like, here's the wind as well. It's like when you come halfway up this hill here, there's just such an extreme wind. And listen, folks. That noise is created from the pigeons. It's like there's actually kind of holes underneath here. That looks like a deep hole leading the way down there. Wow, folks. Just think what could be hidden down there from a time gone by. Ancient treasure. And now we've come over that ridge. We can no longer see behind us. Look, there's just darkness apart from a torch. And now we're coming down to this original entrance that we came in. And now look at that. See, it's like big chunks of stone. Maybe animals like foxes and stuff go in there and hide overnight. But that goes quite far in. Maybe like 10 foot. That's maybe the other end of the hole that we saw when we were looking in the top. Wow, folks, what a scene. Super cool, and it's so high when you're walking through this one. The other light tunnel, it was a different kettle of fish. Again, it was low roof, and you struggle to walk about, whereas in this one, yeah, but look, I've come up this side passage, folks, exploring the side path. Wow, hope there's no foxes in here. Yeah, look, it just ends right there. I wonder if maybe they were quarrying out some of the quartz seam which is in there at one time, chiselling it out. Wow. Yeah, if I put my light off, folks, it's literally just pitch dark here. It's a crazy scene. Almost spooky if you think about the satanic worship side of things. And it adds to the mysteriousness of a place like this. This is like the crossroads almost, with the 3 different directions you can go. But I would say this end here is most like a cathedral. When you step into here, where some call this the devil's chair, but it's crazy to think how this is eroded. It's obviously a natural shaped piece. Just look how it is shaped. It's similar to the stone that we saw on the beach at the far side. But you can see how it's smooth, sedimentary bedrock here, and then look at the roof. It's all that pebbles. It's a different type of rock. Wow. Crazy, crazy history of the land, folks. And wow, what an entrance. What a cave. And from the channel DJ down there, you can tell the size of this, because you look tiny in the frame here compared to this monstrosity of a cave. Wow, folks, what a scene. I'm just going to take this all in before we leave this location, because it is hard, obviously, to time it right with the tide times for getting an explore here. Look at that JD carved into the rock there. Yeah, look, it goes quite far up in here. There's just like 2 different types of rock at each side of here. Oh, look, there's a fissure with a cave leading the way up there. That leads on up there quite far. So it just shows this is a weak fissure in the rock. But I do believe the water must come up here now and again. Or maybe the strong winds. But the way this is eroded, it's just insane. It's almost like we get to have a look in under the ground with an adventure like this. This is probably under your feet all over the place in Angus when you're exploring. And yeah, you never normally get to see it. Yeah, I'll just keep this rolling, folks. The YouTube is along on the adventure with us in a place like this. Solid sandstone base in this place too, which is cool. It just shows you it's a proper tunnel. Yeah, that's the graffiti we saw on the way in. Mabel Alexander and Mary Kuffel. Yeah, and people's been carving, and the whole way along, different names and initials, and yeah, this is just like coming out the cathedral door right here, folks. The natural cathedral in the rock. And the way that erodes, it's like something that you see in like the deserts of America or something. And the fact it leads to that crazy beach at the far side, it's like inaccessible normally. It just makes it such an epic adventure. Anyway, folks, we're back on this other beach now. Yeah, I'll update you soon. The adventure's real once again. See, from here you would never even know that that goes so far in, all the way to the other side. And it looks like just a cave. It's so cool. It's a sandstone wilderness we're in. Look at this, folks. Further along the coast here, there's this other little miniature caves. And look, there's loads of graffiti being scored in here from years ago. Yeah, it's quite a cool little spot. It looks like this must be somebody's camping spot up here on the hill. Wow. All my years of like living around, I've never explored any of these little caves and stuff up on the hill. And it is a cool spot. It's like somebody's been camping up here. They've had their little fire going. Maybe on the storms they hide up here and camp, and then if it's better weather they go down to that grassy bit there. Wow, just look at the sandstone, folks, the way it's worn in layers. And then there's another cave up here in this corner. It's cool just to explore these little nuggets before we head on. This is insane. This is a big cave by the looks of things. Wow. This cave here is massive. See, an interesting thing, it's right below another one of these like quartz fissures. So I wonder if these have been like tunnelled out and carved out when they've been trying to get the ore. I'm really not sure about that. You can see the black stain there, and that's from them burning all this. They must have been having fires up here, and it's just stained the whole roof of this cave here black. But it is an amazing spot on the side of this hill. Yeah, somebody's been eating a lot of tins of beans there. Carlsberg. Beans in Carlsberg, folks. And then look, there's the pan. Still lying there yet. And there's Channel DJ down there, shout out. Look at this, here's an old date scored on the wall, look, 1970. Peter 1970, shout out. Look, 66. Crap, 66. Yeah, there's some crazy old graffiti scored into the walls here. Ancient graffiti, folks, because it's that light sandstone, so it really just like erodes away so quick. Yeah, wild Scottish landscape, folks. We document every little corner of it though. Leave no stone unturned. And at this time of year, the daffodils are out. The spring daffodils, folks. Yeah, what a crazy land. Just think that sandstone probably continues under the ground all the way over to those rock shelves leading out under the sea. Look at this, folks. After being so sunny on that adventure, it's now hailstones coming down. It's just little tiny hailstones, but you can see them on the ground there. Crazy. So there is still that frosty air at this time of year in Scotland, and you never know the weather. But literally that is ice cold coming down right now. Look at that. You're witnessing it coming on heavier now. Don't know how well that comes out on the camera. It's like it's covering the ground quick now, folks. Look at that. Insane. We're making our way back to the car. Right, folks, that's been a crazy adventure. We're now back in this mystical forest, and that was the mystical tunnel slash cave adventure, and it was so cool to see that. Just think, like, who knows what had gone on in those places over the years, but it's cool today on the video to document it and yeah, just see how it looks now. And it was an epic adventure. It's so cool to do like an underground adventure. I don't think we've done a cave since like the Glen Clover cave or the Glendall cave. Anyway, folks, I'll end this video here. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll catch you very soon in the next adventure. Bye.